Now, today is the best time to talk about the impact of the Lagos State Electricity Law. Hello and welcome to another episode of LCFE Market Plus. My name is Joy Osamujame. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is LCFE Market Plus. Now, today is a good time to talk about the impact of the Lagos Electricity Law. And on set with me is the Managing Director for the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, Akin Akeredolu Ali. Thank you so much for being on set with me.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. Now, let's talk about the Lagos Electricity Law. How does LCFE intend to leverage this law to provide investment opportunities for people?
First of all, I want to thank Lagos State for, being at the forefront of enacting a law that allows the states now to start taking advantage of the fact that some aspects of the federal law have been moved from the exclusive lists now to for the states now for them to have autonomy and to generate their own electricity. It's a game changer that we've needed in the last 60 years, and we at Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, we plan to leverage this electricity law to create structured investment instruments and products that the capital market operators can invest in and can put their investments into the capital market instruments. This, I believe, will boost power transmission, funding, the power generation. The distribution companies will be able to participate in that space.
Nice one.
And they will be able to have access.
That's good.
To required capital to fund their operations and stabilize their cash flows. And people will be able to start using that as a means to be able to grow.
Now, you agree with me that one of the significance of this electricity law that was signed is that it will stimulate or increase power supply in Lagos, right? Am I correct?
100% correct.
Now, what are the innovative trading solutions is LCFE bringing on board to support energy commodities and attract capital into the Lagos electricity market?
You know that we're in this 21st century now, so everything is always about either people are talking about artificial intelligence, people are talking about technology, people are talking about efficiencies, people are talking about simpler approaches to problem solving. LCF is also providing a virtual deal room for this particular law, where investment bankers, market operators, electricity stakeholders can develop investment products and share them with one another for potential investment pitch. In other words, we are connecting those with electricity products to those with capital in a transparent way in an efficient deal room. So that deal room is a place you can go into whereby you can see opportunities there, the transactions that can take place, the opportunities that can take, and also for the financing people too. They can go in there, they have capital, where can they deploy capital into and their savings into. They can easily see that in a one-stop shop in the virtual deal room there. For example, companies with cash flows in their power infrastructure can go there to securitize their cash flows, and list the product in the deal room. Effectively for Lagos State, that has a very large catch of assets that are available, idle assets for the power sector. They'll be able to leverage on it, leverage on the cash flows there, and investors that are groping in the dark on how do we enter into this electricity space can go into the virtual deal room there, see the opportunities there, and take it there, sign up for it inside the deal room, and activate the transaction. So
with this, you are saying that the Lagos State electricity has become a commodity to be traded on?
Yes, electricity has always been a commodity.
Awesome.
All over the world, people trade electricity. They buy bulk and trade, buy bulk retail, and buy bulk and, invest in it. It's an investment outlet. People
now, still on investments. Now, what are the strategies that LCFE is putting in place to boost investors' confidence on sustainability of this sector?
Yeah, you see, the major thing about investor confidence is always about, first of all, the governance structure and the risk management framework there. So one of the things that we're doing to boost investors' confidence is to make sure that the instruments that are traded on the exchange, they are de-risked.
Okay.
What that means is that for whatever you're trading on there, transactions plus 3, should you want to sell, you can sell easily, there's liquidity. Should you want to buy, there's an existing place to buy. And also, whatever you are dealing on, you are dealing with a subnational. A subnational has its own inherent cover for investors that want to participate in that ecosystem. Also, LCFE will also be making sure that the governance structure for all those institutions that are coming to participate in the deal room will be properly put in place, whereby there will be zero default for transactions in the deal room, and that will give investors confidence, and then particularly also for the subnational that we're dealing with, Lagos State. Lagos State has the best rating in Nigeria as a subnational. And that rating on its own from a rating agency is going to allow investors to see that, okay, we are dealing with an A-rated subnational, and people want to put monies into it. And also that also affects the yield also. It means that the yield will be good and it will be reasonable, and people will be able to trade it either for the yield or for pure speculation, or to hedge transactions, or to be able to improve their cash flows there.
Now, talking about partnerships, what are the strategies that LCFE has put in place to make private partnership to bring development into the sector now that the bill has been signed?
The major thing that you need to do first in any environment is sensitization, and let people know that these opportunities are there. And the first thing is, do people know about this law? You have to expose the laws, so they let them understand the laws. And then when they know the laws also, what are the content of the laws? What are the impact of the laws on whatever you're doing? What is the regulatory framework there? What is the enabling environment is created? That law, for example, creates an opportunity for people that are going to be doing the licensing on behalf of the subnational Lagos State. And then on the issue of regulatory part of it too, they have regulatory institutions that they have been put together. And in some cases, they're even putting infrastructure funds together. And for them to be able to know, what we've done at LCF is we've organized a breakfast session with them stakeholders, including government regulatory bodies, Lagos electricity market participants. Private sector entities were there also there, and consumer groups were there. And what they did that day was that they discussed trading electricity contracts on the exchange, and how do they do that? Allowing investment banks, regulators and private equity firms to explore collaborative strategies on how they can work together. And that Lagos electricity law has localized power transmission, which is now under Lagos State alone, and the distribution also will be under Lagos State alone. So we brought in key stakeholders, particularly the leader for that particular sector from that particular unit. That's the Commissioner for Energy was there, Energy and Mineral Resources was there together, and he discussed how the laws is going to be like, the implementation of the laws, the opportunities in the laws, and the impact, of course, of the laws on that particular sector. And I'm very happy that when we did that particular breakfast session, it was, it was chaired by the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, able representing the able Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who also was actually very, very much aware about that event that day. So first of all, you look at the political will. The government is there, the deputy governor is there to support, the governor is there to support, he has enacted the law, it's been signed into law. So you have an enabling environment there. The only thing left is for the private sector and the participant to start harvesting the opportunities there. And how do they do that? Is to look at the laws and how to take advantage of the commercial side of it, the part that does with risk management also, and the one that creates opportunities. And I'm so happy that foreign investors came, embassies were there, institutions were there, banks were there, everybody came in to understand that this is a big market, and this is a market everybody should be participating in. Without power, nothing happens. And with power, everything happens.
Exactly.
So effectively, you should be expecting that as this power, the law has been passed and put in place now, signed into law, you are going to see improvement in the commerce of Lagos State. You are going to see industrialization. You're going to see growth in tourism. You see stability. You see better security in Lagos State. So there will be so many parts that people will be able to come to and participate. But particularly for the deal room, it's going to focus on the investors and the opportunities available for you to put your investments into. We are very happy to have that breakfast session. We're still going to be doing some subsequently to create sensitization for people to understand the opportunities and for us to be able to grow with it.
That's very important. I love the fact that you mentioned that more sensitization programs are going to be organized. Now, before I ask you my last question, in case you missed the breakfast meeting, watch the highlights of the breakfast meeting.
On the landmark achievement of signing the Lagos Electricity Bill 2024 into law. This bill marks a pivotal moment in the evolution of Lagos' energy sector and opens immense opportunity for economic growth, investment, and innovation.
I'm very happy that the bill had been signed earlier. We're just proposing the bill today to investors, to foreign institutions, to various stakeholders in the ecosystem. And I'm happy that it's a well-accepted process, and I'm happy also that the Deputy Governor just spoke now that it's a new process that we all need to embrace.
The rules of engagement is clear for everybody, so we now need investment, right? We must build infrastructures, we must build power lines and all those things. We must bring in meters so that we can eliminate all these estimated billings, which is not fair to people, but which means everybody must have power. So how do we get that done? You need resources. So that's one of the reasons why we're here. So it's to make sure that all the pillars are standing. And that's exactly what the commissioner explained. And that's what I spoke about.
On board the Lagos electricity market, about 35 new investors, and each of these market players that are coming in will be approaching the market for all manner of support. And I pray this will be the beginning of the market giving us the support that we need to make blackout a past tense in Lagos.
Welcome back. Now, this is my last question for you, and it's about the impact. The impact. I know you've mentioned something like that. I'd want you to give the audience and explain more about the impacts of what is the impact of this electricity law on the energy sector in Lagos State. What should the people be expecting? Lagosians, investors, what should we be expecting after?
You see, the key focus, if you had listened to the Commissioner for Power and Mineral Resources then, of the electricity law for Lagos, is to increase generating the power capacity. And what they've done is they looked at it in the short term, in the medium term, and in the long term. In the medium term part, they're looking at 4,000 megawatts of power in the near midterm for Lagos, which is just a good size, at least a good place to start from. For us, our goal within that framework is to establish an exchange platform for trading structured products. Because for it to be able to get revenue, there has to be a structure whereby instruments can be traded with the underlying being electricity. So we on our part, we are committed to creating innovation in how investments is traded in electricity and how it can drive economic growth and how it can drive infrastructure development. So what we've done is that it's just a call to everybody there that, look, we are calling the capital market participants and other stakeholders to join us in the electricity market. Now, there's something that you've not spoken about that I will speak about. That's the sustainable part of it. So what Lagos State has done is that instead of saying, come participate in the electricity market, what they're saying is, come and participate in the clean Lagos electricity market claim.
That's the clean Lagos.
So that sustainability part of it is also key to it. So that the green energy also now comes in, whereby the source of energy is clean and is, in compliance with global best practice and the 21st century. And what we'll be doing is to develop a marketplace, putting also into consideration the ESG model by developing.
How soon do we intend to have that marketplace running for the energy sector? The
virtual room is already, ongoing, and then there have been subscriptions already into the virtual deal room. That's the first leg.
Nice.
The first stage is to also do the sensitization, what was the breakfast meeting. Which was successful. Now the virtual deal room is mobilizing investment banking institutions, banks, and the people that want to participate in that space, the operators and others into that space. And as that comes in now, the virtual room will now start becoming more robust. And it's a place that you can pick transactions. I can see an update of whatever transaction is going on in the deal room for particularly electricity. And people that want to also deal in the green energy and all that, and participate in the sustainable part also, can go in there and participate very well. It's ongoing already, and I'm sure that very soon, for the first 2 or 3 transactions will be coming out of the deal room that will crystallize and materialize in the subnational and Lagos State for people to see, and the trades will start taking off from there, whereby the capital market operators will also be able to participate in the ecosystem.
But does this guarantee a 24/7 power supply for Lagosians?
That is given. That is given because the moment you have people that have invested in power generation, the only way that they can make money is when they keep generating that light completely, and it's being used up by the end user. And you have 23 million people in Lagos. You have an ecosystem whereby people are looking at industrialization. People are using it every day on daily basis. So the offtake is given. It should generate it and to be able to efficiently distribute it from the generating point to the end user. And one of the major things that was discussed at that breakfast meeting had to do with the issue of theft also. How do you control theft? How do you control the leakages in this space so that investors will not lose money? Those are issues that have been plugged. On the issue of metering, whereby the metering is where you look at how do you generate the revenue from selling the power and how do you control it? How is the payment done? How do the investors recoup their monies back? Those things have been put in a single box whereby people can go into and participate in various aspects of the electricity value chain from one end to the other.
That's awesome. I mean, it's good to hear that all the ends have been covered and everything has been put in place for both the investors, and of course it's a win-win for Lagosians and the investors. Thank you so much for being on set with me today.
I think one of the major things that we should do is we must give credit to whom great credit is due to. We must thank Mr. Governor of Lagos State, the governor that's working, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And we must give credit also to the deputy governor also that came for that event, that chaired that event, and the commissioner for power and mineral resources, Mr. Ogunle, that's been able to put this together, that's been able to activate this electricity bill for Lagos State. We need to do that. And now you can see that other states are already taking the cue of what Lagos State is doing as a trailblazer. They too are sending their own electricity bill into law as it were. But Lagos will be at the forefront, and everybody will be looking at the Lagos State on this model they were running, this deal room that is going to be for the electricity room. I'm sure that all other states in Nigeria will adopt this deal room arrangement, whereby you have a particular place you can go into in a deal room, whereby you can see investable opportunities with the instrument, whereby you can be investing, and where capital can go into. I'm sure you want to mobilize capital also. You can go into the deal room to mobilize capital. Of course, at the end of the day, it will come in the form of a structured product that will be tradable on our own exchange, where people will be able to invest in electricity products, instruments, buy it and sell it at any point in time.
That would be nice. That's a great plan, and I feel like this is what we need in Lagos and in Nigeria at large. So this is a great plan. Once again, it's been a great time being on set with you today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, and I'm so happy that you guys are doing this. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And so at this juncture, we'll call it a day. It's been a great time on LCFE Market Plus. Till I come your way, same time next week. Follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't end there. Turn on your notifications button so you always get updates. Do have a lovely week. Bye.